Hey there everybody, making this video because a company really has touched me in a very awesome way, which would be Taurus Firearms. Love them or hate them, which I love them. I've owned 3 of them, and I guess if you want to nitpick at little things, you know, you're never going to be happy with your guns. Well, not necessarily unhappy, but each one you buy is going to have its own little story of why I had to fluff and buff, and it didn't want to work out of the box, and I can honestly say these Taurus, this is my 740 PT 740 Slim. Before this, I was carrying a full-size PT 24/7 Pro. Also, I had the PT 24/7 DS. Both of those guns, awesome. At that time, a full size I really wanted all that mag capacity, you know, 16 rounds in one magazine, one in the hole, 17 rounds of 9mm. Well, that was with my 24/7 Pro. Now, as far as Taurus and my dealings with them, I've dealt with them one time on 3 guns. And the only reason I had to deal with them the first time, or the last time, was because the owner of the gun before that decided to try and make the grips smooth, and I did not like it. But I knew that buying the gun for the price that I got it for, how clean it was, that it was an awesome gun. Someone tried to be Mr. Gunsmithing, and I sent the lower end to the gun into Taurus and had it back from FedEx within less than 2 weeks. Granted, I live in Florida. Not saying that your turnaround time is going to be slower than mine, because you know, that was the one time that I had to actually send a gun in, and you know, I had to send the whole gun, not just the lower. So I actually had to deal with FFLs and stuff, and they took care of all of that. They paid my FFL that they shipped the gun to, and all the shipping and everything. All I had to do was drop the damn thing off at FedEx. So, and actually they came to my house, because Taurus gave me a ring and said, go to Blake's house. He's got a piece of machine for us to work on. So they came to my house. Picked it up I'll give them maybe latest at 3 weeks. Got everything back. They actually even put on my 24/7 Pro, they put a new guide spring and rod in it, in which I noticed that because well, I noticed the markings on mine from the lubrication that I was using at the time, and the fact that I called them and I asked them, you know, did you put a new spring in this? And they said yes. We wanted you to have a brand new gun, basically, since you purchased it. And they cleaned everything on the gun. They put a new spring in that gun and said, here is your brand new gun. In that box, they included a little letter saying, you know, that what they had done. And I called them and asked them, I was like, you know, was it broke, crack, or anything? They said, no, we did it because we want you to have a fresh gun. So treat this gun, you know, break in that spring a little bit, take it easy on it. Nice. also. That same dealing. I didn't send them a magazine because I figured, they just would do the lower and be done with it. I got a magazine back. I called them because I had a problem with one of my mags. This is the other time. And that was my fault because I actually dropped it and then I tried fixing it and it didn't work. But then I fixed it and it was good and everything was working gravy, but Taurus sent me another magazine. I had 9 16 round magazines, and it's wonderful. I saved a lot after I got rid of my Pro and got the DS. So I was able to use I was able to use a lot of the magazines. Yeah, I believe those two did fit. Yeah. What I would like to say is, with their customer service, one, I call and instantly, not instantly, but fast, someone picks up the phone and they're not trying to give you kind of attitude. They're really, really, really nice people. The last person I dealt with was Maria, on getting me on my PT 740. She got me in another magazine. I really, really appreciate that, Maria. I called in and was expressing how I felt about the company, and asked a couple questions about how long it's been around, and come to find out they've been around for quite some time, 1930s, 1940s, something like that, I believe she said. Really early in the 90s. So they've been around, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat any kind of weapon. I like all kinds of different firearms: Springfield, Glocks, Colt, of course, Car. There's a lot of handguns out there that I like to shoot. And when I say handguns, the revolvers that Taurus makes with their variety of different ammunition you could shoot out of the Judge, or their ultralights, that a woman can hold or a man can hold, and it's just a really, really light carry. And they come in 38 specials and up and up and up, depending on what you want. Taurus has really, really paid attention to a lot of things that I know I personally felt. I love their triggers. It's either a love or hate kind of thing I'm seeing with the videos, in which a lot of people really don't even talk about Taurus a lot, because it's not a Glock, because it's not a Springfield. But Kel-Tec is something to talk about. That's a whole nother subject. This is my experiences with Taurus and how I feel about them. You guys are taking great care of me. I really, really appreciate it every time. It's nothing hectic. Straight to the point. Mr. Blake, they got all my information, all my weapons that I've owned and dealings with them, and phone calls. I'm not gonna get into so much of what they've done for me, but yeah, as far as magazines and fixing that grip, they've really helped me out. Magazines for my 24/7s, I got helped out a lot. And them sending you an extra magazine, don't think they're just accidentally doing it. They're letting you know that, here, take an extra magazine, go out and have fun, and stay with our weapons. They want to make you happy. The long trigger pulls that everyone wants to complain about, I really don't understand, because the way that the gun works for me is, I love it. I love the way you can pull that trigger all the way back and be right on that point, and 3 pounds maybe, and you got a nice crisp pull, rack it back, and the reset is right when you let off. So I mean, it's crack, and it's just, I love it. And that's how all my Tauruses have been, and that's how a lot of my friends that I recommend Taurus. Actually, tonight I showed my buddy my PT 740, and he said that is a nice gun for what you want to use it for. That is a nice gun. Please, let's go out and shoot it. So, you know, I put some Hogue grips on it for my own liking. I liked it without it, you know, but it feels just a little bit more comfortable with that Hogue grip on there. The little bit of thickness. Like I said, I'm not sugarcoating this. I will say where I liked a little bit different things. For one of my magazines, I bought a pinky extension for one of the magazines. I'm not gonna buy another one. I like the flush fit, to be honest with you. So now I'm really waiting to see if they come out with larger magazines. And with everything going on in the gun world, I'm sure that's on hold. So, but I hear that there's 7 plus 1, so 7 rounds, and then you got one in the chamber, 8 bullets, 840 caliber Smith & Wesson rounds, and they're ready to rock and roll in a single stack magazine. Yeah, it's single stack. I got it for its carry ability. The 40 caliber is a very, very potent weapon, and I chose that. I wanted a 40 or a 45. I was not gonna get another 9mm. And when I walked in the store and I looked through everything, I could have bought whatever I wanted. I could have bought a Glock. I could have bought a Springfield. But for my money and for the uses that I'm going to use this gun for, Taurus, you nailed it on the head. I love it. The sights on it, I have to mess with a little bit. It's going down low, and it's shooting low, and I've seen other people. And if I really wanted to, I probably could call you and send this in and have you sight it in for me. You guys are just so nice like that towards your customers. But I'm gonna do it myself, and it's no big deal. But yes, when you go into the gun shop next time, check out some of the Taurus. You know what I mean? Yeah, if the trigger bothers you, okay. But when I first got my first 24/7, and then I felt that long trigger pull, I was like, okay, you know. But then I seen the reset on it, and you know, that gun, I just, you know, I can have it, and I can hold it, and know that, you know what I mean, if I'm in danger, I can have my hand inside that trigger guard and have it pulled back if I wanted to, and stay in control of it at all times. No misfires or anything. You know, you don't want to be discharging a weapon, of course. If something was to happen, like someone tried to rob me or whatever with a knife or a gun, of course I'm gonna be actually pulling the trigger. But you know, if they came at me with a knife, you deal with every situation different. But this is what I have to say for Taurus. If you could honestly, if you can maintain the trigger how you have it set up, maybe a smidgen tighter on the spring, you know, when you pull it back, so it doesn't have such a long pull, you can, you know, stiffen it up a little bit, because I don't want it stiffened too much, because I really like it. That's the one thing I can say. Other than like rubber grips on them, that they don't wear out really. The person just went to hacking away at it, you know. And then I got it back, and I didn't have any problems with the grips for years. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. So Taurus, this is for you guys, and I'm glad that I have owned your weapons and dealt with them and shot many of them, and all of them shoot perfect. For the money, if you want to go spend $300 or $400, Taurus has got a gun for you. In your caliber, whatever size you want. You know what I mean? You don't have to go spend $900 on a gun to get good quality out of it. Shit. High Point, I've seen their guns shoot perfect too. You see how much people talk about them being pieces of crap. So before you judge it, get a judge. Well, might as well. You know, before you judge it, get a judge. You can shoot so many different bolts out of that gun, rounds, bolts, whatever you want to call it. That gun is awesome for all kinds of home defense, snake hunting, snake shooting, whatever the hell you need to do. It'll get her done. So I'm gonna end that on a good note. Taurus, thank you for your customer support and services. It is much liked. Thank you.